Hello, my name is Owen Thorne, and I'm so grateful you're here with me tonight. Let these words be your gentle invitation to drift away from the weight of the day. If you're feeling tension in your body, give yourself permission to let it slip away, little by little. Take a long, calming breath in, then release it slowly, noticing how your shoulders relax and your mind begins to settle. Tonight, I'll be guiding you on a peaceful journey that brings you to the shores of a quiet lake at dawn, where a simple picnic and a gathering of friendly ducks create a scene of pure tranquility. Let this be your space to rest and rejuvenate. Feel free to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Notice how each exhalation grows longer, easing you into a slower, more comfortable rhythm. Allow yourself to simply exist in this moment, free of worry or lingering thoughts. Each breath is like a soft wave, carrying away anything that no longer serves you. Imagine yourself growing warmer and lighter, sinking gently into the soft ground beneath you, almost as if you're being wrapped in a gentle cocoon of calm. You can let the busyness of the day slip behind. You can let the calm soak into your muscles, your mind, and your spirit. Now, let us journey onward. Our story shifts away from you, so you can gently observe from a place of restful comfort. In a hushed glade at the very edge of a placid lake, a figure awakens in the early light of dawn. The world around them is still wrapped in the remnants of night. A faint mist swirls along the water's surface, curling in languid shapes that drift with the slightest breeze. At this gentle hour, the sky is a tapestry of soft pink and pale yellow, a quiet promise of a fresh new day. As the first birds begin their morning songs, the hush of nature's anticipation seems to surround everything, as though the whole world collectively inhales in preparation for the sunlight to fully reveal itself. The picnic spot is nestled beneath a graceful willow tree. Its slender branches sway ever so slightly, as if bowing in a humble welcome to the morning. The dew-kissed grass cushions the ground, soft and cool to the touch. The figure, an early riser who has chosen this peaceful moment for reflection, spreads out a woven blanket in the shelter of this tree. The blanket itself carries the memory of simpler times, its fibers smelling faintly of sunshine and clean linen. The air feels fresh and damp, scented with the fragrance of water lilies and sweet grass, the faintest trace of pine drifting in from the stand of trees nearby. Gently setting down a wicker picnic basket, they can already hear the gentle quacking of ducks along the shoreline. Their voices mingle with distant bird calls, creating a meditative chorus of nature. Moving slowly, almost reverently, the figure settles onto the blanket, crossing their legs in a comfortable position. In this hush, time seems to stretch, allowing a deeper appreciation of each detail to flourish. The water's surface is so calm, it reflects the early sky like a mirror, a canvas of pastels, gently rippling whenever a curious duck paddles by. The figure breathes in deeply and quietly, savoring the crispness of the dawn air. There's a noticeable coolness that passes through their nostrils, filling their lungs and then radiating out through their entire being. A subtle chill may linger from the final moments of night, but it's more refreshing than cold, like a gentle nudge to remain aware, to be fully present in this sacred moment between night and day. In the branches overhead, the first hints of sunlight paint the leaves with soft, pearly rays. Droplets of dew perched on each leaf shimmer like tiny prisms, capturing the newborn sunlight before letting it slip away into glimmering sparkles. As the dawn grows clearer, the world seems to stir in tiny increments. Dragonflies, with their iridescent wings, hover along the water's edge, darting gracefully between the reeds. A light breeze meanders through the grass, carrying with it the subtle sound of rustling leaves, like a quiet lullaby guiding all in attendance toward a deeper calm. Even the ducks appear unrushed. They paddle in lazy circles, occasionally dipping their heads under the water in search of small treats, then shaking off droplets that shimmer in the first rays of daylight. In the picnic basket rests a simple meal meant to complement the tranquility of this place. Fresh bread wrapped in a cloth, a jar of homemade jam, crisp apple slices, and a small jug of water. Each item has been chosen for its gentle flavors and comforting familiarity, nourishment for both body and spirit. The figure takes a moment to admire these humble offerings, then folds the cloth back over the bread, as though wishing to preserve the calm that blankets everything here. Now and then, the sweet chatter of the ducks draws the figure's gaze toward them, and a soft smile plays across their lips. With a slow, deliberate motion, they tear a small piece of bread and set it aside. There is no rush to feed the ducks yet. Instead, the figure first savors the aroma of the bread, noticing the faint scent of yeast. Nearby, the lake is slowly awakening to color. The reflection of the dawn sky shifts from pastel to warmer hues, mild oranges, subtle peach, and gently deepening pinks. The distant horizon glows with the promise of a bright sun, still hidden behind the trees, waiting for its gentle ascent. The figure's thoughts drift like clouds over a mountain peak, light and unhurried. Letting the slow pace of nature guide them, they take in the moment with all their senses. The soft grass under the blanket, the hush of air against the water, the subtle swish of willow branches overhead. Everything merges into a tranquil symphony. Even the act of blinking feels unhurried, as though each closing of the eyes is an embrace of the moment, and each opening a renewed discovery of morning light. When the figure finally extends a hand with a morsel of bread toward the ducks, there's a gentle sense of invitation in the movement. At first, the ducks glance curiously, as if weighing their comfort with this newcomer. But something about this calm presence by the shore puts them at ease. One duck paddles forward, bold in a quiet way, and gently nudges the outstretched crumb with a soft quack. The figure laughs softly, a sound that blends with the bird's contented chatter. The others soon follow, forming a small cluster around the edge of the lake. Their brown and iridescent green feathers glisten in the rising sun, and each quack resonates in the air like a comforting note in a lullaby. With a simple motion, the figure places more pieces of bread on the gentle slope at the water's edge. The ducks wobble out, feet wiggling, quietly quacking as they nibble. They seem to know this is a safe place. The figure watches their waddling movements, noticing the water droplets rolling off their feathers. There is such a sense of peace and innocence in their presence. Nothing hurried or worried, only soft, mindful existence. In that moment, time appears to slow further. The sun creeps higher, warming the grass and the picnic blanket, while a delicate gold tone spreads across the tree trunks and branches. Somewhere in the distance, the whistle of a breeze through tall pines weaves into the hush of the lake, accompanied by the occasional calling of a loon. The figure leans back slightly, propped up by the palm of one hand, and looks towards the open sky. Clouds float lazily, shaped by the subtle shift of dawn's breezes. They hold no threat of rain, only a gentle promise of shade as the day advances. Each cloud's edge seems softly illuminated, kissed by the fresh sunlight. The figure's body grows heavier in its relaxed state, as if gravity increases with calm acceptance. There's no urge to move swiftly or plan. Everything that is needed is already here. By the time the sun inches further above the tree line, the ducks have finished their small feast. They stroll along the shoreline, uttering contented little quacks and nibbling the tender grass. Water droplets still cling to their feathers, catching the morning light in tiny pinpoints of brilliance. Occasionally, one ruffles its wings in a casual stretch, sending a light mist into the air. The figure observes each motion as if it were a small miracle. In nature's silent tapestry, every detail feels woven together by an unseen hand, creating a unified sensation of harmony. The figure unfurls a clean cloth napkin and gently arranges a few apple slices on it. The sweet, crisp aroma wafts upward. Taking a slow bite, the figure savors the bright taste, letting it linger on the tongue before swallowing. There is no rush to the next mouthful. It's all part of the meditation that the dawn provides. The moment tastes of gratitude, as though the orchard, the sunlight, the dew-kissed grass, and the calm morning have all converged to offer a cherished gift. A dragonfly flutters near, its wings reflecting subtle rainbows in the warming rays. It darts above the basket, then settles momentarily on a reed by the lake. The figure watches it in silent wonder, appreciating its delicate form and the gentle hum of its wings. The air itself seems to hold a soft hush, as though each being present is united in reverence for the new day. In the willow tree overhead, the leaves rustle faintly. The tree stands tall, its trunk thick with the weight of decades, if not centuries. Tracing the patterns of bark with restful eyes, the figure imagines the stories held within the tree's rings. Each year's growth, each passing season. Perhaps this ancient tree has seen countless sunrises on this very lake, has borne witness to families of ducks come and go, has cradled the shadows of morning mist in its branches. In that simple reflection, a profound sense of belonging emerges, as though the figure, the ducks, the willow, and the gentle dawn are all threads of the same tapestry, interwoven in perfect harmony. Time drifts by in delicate fragments, marked only by the slow shift of sunlight creeping across the grass. The early chill in the air gives way to a pleasant warmth that settles into every surface. There is a gentle hush to the figure's thoughts as they focus on the fleeting details. How the light catches on a ripple in the lake. How the ducks tilt their heads as they search for more crumbs. How a distant crane stands tall in the reeds, regal and silent, scanning the shimmering water for its morning meal. Each detail glistens in the calmness, capturing the essence of dawn's gentle pace. Now and then, a soft breeze stirs the figure's hair, brushing lightly against their face, as if reminding them to savor the present moment. The texture of the blanket beneath their legs feels both soft and sturdy, a comforting surface that invites rest. When the figure closes their eyes for a few breaths, the soundscape intensifies. The water quietly lapping at the shore, the leaves whispering, the gentle murmur of duck calls. Opening their eyes again, the world is fresh, the colours even richer, the calmness more profound. The figure pours a small cup of water from the jug and drinks. The water is cool, cleansing and pure, a reflection of the lake's serenity. The sun continues its graceful ascent. It filters through the willow's hanging branches in soft, dappled patterns. Tiny, playful lights and shadows dance across the picnic blanket, and the figure reaches out a curious hand to trace their movements. Each flutter of leaves changes the shapes cast upon the cloth, as if telling a slow, soothing story to those who take the time to watch. Mid-morning light is beginning to emerge, but it still holds a gentle kindness. Its glow is tender, not yet harsh, and the figure basks in this transitional warmth. The ducks have grown a bit more adventurous, waddling closer to the picnic basket, their beady eyes full of soft curiosity. The figure smiles again and drops another morsel of bread, which is gladly received by the most daring among them. Soon the little group forms a semicircle, each duck patiently awaiting a small share in the peaceful feast. In their sweet, unhurried manner, they reflect the calm presence offered by the dawn itself. High above, a few white clouds float across the blue sky, still tinted by the early light. The figure tilts their face upward and closes their eyes for a moment. Warm rays caress their features, while a faint breeze offers balance, preventing any hint of discomfort. In this serene union of elements, the figure experiences a gentle surrender, as if each inhalation pulls in the beauty of the morning, and each exhalation releases any thread of tension that might remain. Time seems to expand here, untethered from schedules or obligations. The figure remains rooted in the present, drawn by the subtle wonders that reveal themselves to unhurried observation. Even the small blade of grass brushing against a toe or the way the willow's branches sway overhead becomes an invitation to deeper awareness. The figure's breathing steadies further, matching the gentle pace of a heart aligned with nature's rhythms. Each drawn breath is a comforting embrace, each release a soft letting go. A soft rustle in the nearby bushes indicates a small rabbit grazing on tender sprouts. It peeks out, ears high, nose twitching, its wide eyes scanning the open space. Initially cautious, it seems to sense the peaceful energy, lowering its guard just enough to continue nibbling. The figure watches, heart warmed by the sense of shared sanctuary. One life acknowledges another, even if only for the briefest moment, as the morning continues its tender unveiling. The sweet perfume of water lilies floats on the air. Across the lake's surface, gentle ripples spread from where the ducks have paddled out again, full and content. Their quacks become soft as they dip their heads under, emerging with droplets that glitter in the sun. Further out, lily pads rest quietly, their round emerald leaves reminiscent of floating discs. A delicate white lily rises from one, its petals adorned with tiny beads of dew that catch the light and reflect a soft glow. Nearby, a splash signals a fish breaching momentarily, sending out concentric circles over the mirror-like surface. Another duck quacks in response, as though the splash were part of the conversation. The figure, unhurried, rests on one elbow, head tilted in quiet fascination at how perfectly everything fits together. This moment holds an unspoken promise. In the gentle unfolding of dawn, there is space for all creatures to simply be as they are, unhurried, unburdened, gently present in a world that feels large and welcoming. The figure considers taking another nibble of bread, but decides to simply savor the lingering sweetness of apple slices instead. The morning's hush wraps around them like a soft blanket, encouraging stillness. Within this stillness, a new clarity emerges, as though the mind has been washed clean by the gentle touch of dawn's light. Thoughts that might have crowded the mind the night before are nowhere to be found, replaced by a serene acceptance of what is, here and now. Shadows gradually shorten as the sun inches upward, but it still maintains a gentle warmth. The figure pours another small cup of water, pausing to watch how the sunlight sparkles on the liquid. Even the smallest motion holds a quiet majesty, every tilt of the cup, every gentle swirl. Then, raising the cup, the figure closes their eyes, taking a slow sip. Within that sip resides the memory of rainwater, mountain streams, and all the hidden paths that led it to this jug. A simple act becomes a mindful ceremony, celebrating nature's generous gifts. From across the lake, a pair of geese rise into the air, wings flapping strongly, their honking echoing across the water. The sound rolls through the early morning haze, and the figure glances up to trace their flight. The geese glide over the distant treetops, their silhouettes briefly outlined by the brightening sky, until they vanish from sight. Stillness returns in their wake, as though nature has orchestrated a delicate interlude to remind all who witness it of the gentle power of taking flight. At the base of the willow, the figure eventually stirs, placing a hand gently on the trunk as though offering thanks. The bark feels warm and rough, a comforting texture, connecting them to the wisdom embedded within this ancient living structure. In that small act, the figure feels intimately linked with the cycle of day and night, the dance of moonlight and sunrise that has played out over this shore for countless years. There is deep solace in knowing that life continues in quiet, constant rhythms. The ducks quack softly, some nuzzling each other as they rest in the shallow water. A sense of contentment radiates from their easy interactions. The figure gathers the remnants of bread and fruit, mindful not to leave any trace behind. The basket sits, half empty, a symbol of satisfaction. Folding the cloth carefully, the figure sets it aside. Not every morsel has been eaten, but enough to share in this dawn blessing. The untouched food will travel back, offered later or saved for another gentle sunrise to come. There's no rush here, no looming sense of tasks or hurry. Instead, there is the extended stillness of a day's earliest hours, when the sun's potential is just beginning to unfold. The figure closes their eyes again, drawing in a long, soothing breath. The sense of gratitude swells, expansive and gentle, like a quiet wellspring. It fills each cell of the body, leaving no room for tension or worry. Exhaling, a soft sigh escapes, carrying with it any trace of restlessness. As the hours ease forward, the light intensifies, but remains tender. The figure, feeling that dawn has bestowed its unique peace, slowly starts to tidy the picnic items. Each movement is unhurried, done with reverence for the tranquility that has been shared. The ducks, noticing the shift in activity, offer a few final quacks before drifting back into the lake's gentle ripples, perhaps to find a shady nook along the shore. The morning is fully arrived now, yet an air of dreamlike calm persists, as though the hush of dawn has decided to linger a while longer. Tying the picnic basket closed, the figure glances up at the willow one last time, savouring the dance of the leaves in the gentle breeze. Dragonflies still dart around the reeds, their wings catching sparks of light in tiny arcs. Every subtle sound, from the breeze across the water to the rustle of a passing squirrel, seems woven into a tapestry of delicate harmony. This place, once veiled in the thin mist of night, is now radiant with morning's soft glow. And in that glow, the figure stands, absorbing the fullness of the moment, letting it resonate deep within their being. Grateful for the gift of this dawn, the figure slowly steps away from the water's edge, each footstep cushioned by the lush grass. Though leaving the lake behind, its stillness and the gentle presence of the ducks feel imprinted on the heart, a tranquil memory that will remain accessible whenever calm is needed. With each pace, the figure carries the warmth of the shared sunrise, a comforting companion for the hours and days ahead. The world beyond may bustle and race, but this calm moment by the lakeshore is an everlasting reminder that stillness can always be found within. Now, let everything drift into an even softer focus. Let the gentle images of the lake, the quiet ducks, and the warm glow of dawn remain like a soft shimmer in your mind. You can feel your body melting into comfort, every muscle loose and light. Let your breathing become gentler still, a delicate rise and fall that soothes you more and more with each passing moment. There is nothing to do now, no task that requires your attention, only rest and the peaceful afterglow of a new day's fresh promise. Notice how your eyes feel, how your head eases back, and how your chest feels calm and steady. If there is any final bit of tension lingering, allow it to slip away on your next exhale, dissolving into the air that surrounds you. Let the steady rhythm of your breath be your lullaby, each inhale bringing in the comforting memory of dawn, each exhale sending away any heaviness. Imagine the gentle quacks of the ducks, so distant and soothing, like a quiet lull. Let them lull you further into the softness of this moment. Drifting now, you may find yourself floating on the calm waters of your own mind. Visualize the willow's branches swaying in a dreamlike dance above you, their leaves whispering, "Hush, hush, hush." The sunrise colours might linger behind your closed eyes, painting a soft tapestry of pink and gold that gently fades into the dark behind your eyelids. With each breath, your mind sinks deeper, heart rate slowing, thoughts silencing. This is your invitation to surrender completely to rest. Feel the gentle presence of serenity all around you, the atmosphere of a world that is at peace. You have nothing left to hold on to in this moment, nothing but the soft cradle of sleep waiting to embrace you. Let yourself settle into this emptiness that is full of comfort, full of quiet, full of an unspoken promise that morning will always come with new light, new warmth, and a new beginning. For now, you are safe, cherished, and free to rest in utter tranquility. Good night, dear traveller. Sleep well.